Welcome back, dear students, in our e-learning maths class. Myself, Sheetal Dholi from Gokul Education Society's HL High School English Medium, Oza Township. I am here for Standard 9 Mathematics Part 2, and we are discussing on 5th chapter of quadrilateral. In previous video, already I explained meaning of trapezium, isosceles trapezium and median of the trapezium. Based on that, we solve the practice set 5.4. In this video, I am going to explain the midpoint theorem and converse of midpoint theorem. Based on that midpoint theorem and converse of midpoint theorem, we will discuss on practice set 5.5. Let's start. Today I am going to explain the theorem of midpoints of two sides of a triangle. See the statement. The segment joining midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to third side and half of it. Again I repeat. The segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it. See the given in triangle ABC. Look at the diagram. In triangle ABC, point P is the midpoint of segment AB and point Q is the midpoint of segment AC. What we have to prove that? We have to prove that segment PQ parallel to segment BC as well as segment PQ equals to half of the BC. Now see the construction. We have to draw segment PQ or produce the segment PQ up to R such that PQ equals to QR. Then draw the segment RC. See in this diagram, we have to produce the PQ up to R such that the distance of PQ equals to QR. Then afterwards we have to join the segment RC. Now see the proof. In triangle AQP and triangle CQR. Look at the diagram. In triangle AQP and CQR, segment PQ congruent to QR. This is our construction. Then AQ congruent to QC. It is given. Angle AQP congruent to angle CQR. These two angles are vertically opposite angle. So triangle AQP and triangle CQR, these two triangles are congruent according to side angle side test. If triangles are congruent, their remaining parts are also congruent. So according to that, angle PAQ congruent to angle RCQ, corresponding angle of congruent triangle. Segment AP congruent to segment CR, corresponding side of congruent triangle. So from 1 we can say that line AB parallel to line CR because this alternate angle test. And from 2 we can say that segment AP congruent to segment CR. Now here AP congruent to PB congruent to CR and segment PB parallel to CR. That means quadrilateral PBCR is a parallelogram. If it is parallelogram, then their opposite sides are parallel as well as congruent. So according to that, segment PQ parallel to BC as well as PR is equals to BC. That is, opposite sides are congruent. That means PQ equals to half of PR. This is our construction. So instead of PR, we can put there BC because these are parallel. These are opposite sides of parallelogram. So here we get PQ equals to half of BC. That means the segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to third side and half of it. Now with the help of this theorem and converse of this theorem, we will solve the practice set 5.5. See the first example from practice set 5.5. In figure 5.38, point X, Y, Z are the midpoints of side AB, then BC and AC of triangle ABC respectively. AB equals to 5 cm, AC equals to 9 cm and BC equals to 11 cm. Then find the length of XY, YZ, XZ. Now here look at the diagram. Here triangle ABC is given. In the triangle XYZ, these are the midpoints of side AB, BC and AC respectively. Along that AB, AC and BC, the measurements are given and we have to find the length of XY, YZ and XZ. So first of all we will write here given. AB equals to 5 cm, AC equals to 9 cm and BC equals to 11 cm. Now X and Y are the midpoints of midpoints of side AB and BC respectively. So by using the midpoint formula, therefore we can mention here xy equals to half of the AC by using the midpoint theorem. Just we discussed that theorem, midpoint theorem. Now here AC is 9 centimeters, so we can substitute half into 9. So we'll get 2 1s are 2, 2 4s are 8, 2 5s are 10. So the value of xy is 4.5 centimeter. Okay, in this way we can find out the value of yz as well as xz. Now to find out the value of yz, what we can put there? Yz equals to half of AB. Again by using the midpoint theorem. Now here if you observe the diagram, here y and z are the midpoints of side BC and side AC respectively. So yz equals to half of AB, again by the midpoint theorem. The value of AB is given 5 centimeters, so half into 5 will get here 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 2 5s are 10, that is 2.5 centimeter. That means here yz equals to 2.5 centimeter. Now we'll find the remaining one, that is xz. Now xz is nothing but half of the BC, again by using the midpoint theorem. The value of BC is given 11. So here half into 11. 2 1s are 2, 2 5s are 10, 2 5s are 10. So it is 5.5 centimeter. So xz equals to 5.5 centimeter. Okay, understood everyone? In this way you can find out the value of xy, yz and xz. Now we'll move on the second example. See the second example in figure 5.39, quadrilateral PQRS and MNRL are rectangles. If point M is the midpoint of side PR, M is the midpoint of side PR, then prove that SL equals to LR, and LN equals to half of SQ. That means here we have to do some construction. We have to show that one LN equals to half of that SQ. Okay, now see the answer. See here, quadrilateral LMNR is a rectangle. So here segment LM parallel to segment RN, because these are the opposite sides of rectangle. That is LM parallel to SQ, RNQ, that is a betweenness. Okay, so we can mention here segment RQ parallel to segment SP, because these are also opposite sides of rectangle. Therefore segment LM parallel to segment SP. Okay, now in triangle RSP, see the triangle RSP. In triangle RSP, M is the midpoint of segment PR, it is given. Then LM parallel to segment SP, that means L is also the midpoint of segment SR. That is by the converse of midpoint theorem. So here we can, by using this point, we can mention here SL equals to LR. Okay, now we'll see the second part of this. Now here we have to prove that LN equals to half of SQ. For that, see the diagonals of rectangles are congruent. Okay, so here by using this we can mention here SQ equals to PR. These are nothing but the diagonals of rectangle, and LN equals to MR. These are the nothing but diagonals of this LMNR. Okay, now here MR is equals to half of that PR, because M is the midpoint of segment PR. So instead of MR we can mention here LN equals to half of the PR, but PR is nothing but SQ, so LN equals to half of SQ. Okay, understood everyone? Now we'll solve the next example. In figure 5.40, triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. ABC is an equilateral triangle. Point FDE are the midpoints of side AB, BC and AC respectively. Then show that triangle FED is an equilateral triangle. Okay, now see the solution. in triangle ABC, point F and E are midpoints of side AB and AC respectively. Therefore, FE equals to half of BC. Give the number 1, and this is by midpoint theorem. Then point E and D are midpoints of side AC and BC respectively. Therefore, DE equals to half of AB. Give number 2, and this is also by midpoint theorem. Point F and D are midpoints of side AB and BC respectively. Therefore, FD equals to half of AC. U number 3, and this is also by midpoint theorem. But triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle, and we know that equilateral triangle means their all three sides are equal. So here we can mention here AB equals to BC equals to AC. Now if we multiplying half of all these three, then we will get half AB equals to half BC equals to half AC. But half AB is nothing but DE. Then half BC is nothing but FE. And half AC is nothing but FD. That means DE equals to FE equals to FD. So we can mention here triangle FED is an equilateral triangle. Okay students, understood everyone? Now you will solve the last sum of this practice set 5.5 and complete whole practice set. Next video I will explain the next chapter, that is circle. Thank you.